work began in the 1950s when car ownership was booming and the government, alarmed at the clogged up roads, decided to build the first motorways. However, existing road signs were totally inadequate for the new high-speed highways. But she and Jock horrified the signposting establishment by using upper and lower-case letters instead of the accepted block capitals.
I studied for 4 years at Chelsea, and graphic design didn't exist at that time. I think they called it commercial art. And I just loved doing life drawing and talking to fine artists and the students. Just marvellous after school to just have that freedom. So Jock Kinnear came in one day to introduce the illustrators, printmakers, to what he would call design. And he set us a project that involved some hand lettering, and I was just hooked from then on. Jock Kinnear was my tutor at Chelsea, and he asked me to join him as his assistant, working on the very new Gatwick Airport on the signs and graphics and that. And as a result of that, Sir Colin Anderson saw Jock's work and mine, but I was his assistant, and then they invited Jock to be their consultant. But with the road signs, we had to start from scratch. So when you start from scratch, you obviously look at what they've got already, which of course we did do, and then there's this big committee called the Anderson Committee for the motorway signs, and then this amazing civil servant, T.G. Usborne, very different from the current civil servants. He said, okay, that works well on the motorway, why don't you think of adapting it to the entire network? So of course, we had agreed that that would happen. So we almost started again in terms of redrawing the letter forms, because if you start drawing letter forms in terms of making it readable from the point of view of the driver, it's not a text face. When people keep calling it a font, it's not. It's white lettering on a dark background and dark lettering on a white background.
What I read about it was that you did that sign, and then the joke emerged, it was a man struggling with an umbrella, and that joke's been around for years, and that's annoyed because he pushed you down inside it.
Well, put a shoulder on it just. Now what you want me to draw it on?
Come on, I'll do it. I want you to direct me.
Okay. Right, think of drawing a spade. As if you're drawing a spade, yeah?
What do you think?
Well, I think from here, it's wrong. It's about asking the right questions and knowing who you're designing for, and with the road signs, it's from the point of view of the driver. And so, yes, of course we looked at typefaces because there wasn't anything else to look at. And you work out the actual weight of it. You think about the right ratio of the width of the letter to the X height, and whether it's white or a dark background, or a dark letter or a white background. With most designers, they've got two sides of them. One likes to play and be creative and inventive, but if you've got a job that's to do with showing someone how to find their way